we few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother, be he ne'er so vile. This day shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap whiles any speaks that supported us at the Goblins and Growlers Patreon at patreon.com/goblinsgrowlers.
Unleash me!
He's the Kraken.
I need to destroy again.
This is Quid Pro Roll, a fantasy live play adventure where a party of unlikely heroes embark on a quest to bring dragons back to their world.
Well, howdy, listeners. Welcome to the Daily Crier Listening Show, where all the news and varying and beyond can make its way, well, right to you. Whew, a cold wind blowing in from the north. Seems no matter how I seal the cracks and windows, it always finds its way in. Well, anyways, Charles the Gravy Boat Barnes, keeper of the Scroll of Ham Scryin, had a truly astonishing pleasure of tasting true king ham from the hamsmith himself. Johannes enjoyed a pretty decent meal, though nothing quite in comparison, under the care of Michael. I wonder if he really will let him go. He seems an odd one among the chromatic priests, and that is saying something. In any case, with tummies full and spirits steeled, the party, sans Johannes of course, meets one last time to make their plans before beginning their infiltration. Boat even works in some time to get a bit of riding in. Yeah. Y'all take care now.
As the late afternoon drags on, Boat, Koza, Solinar, and Alita find themselves sitting at this kitschy sort of fried fish restaurant. The kind where food is served in baskets to absorb the grease from the fry.
Heck yeah.
There are strange containers of room temperature tartar sauce.
Is there sweet tea? I know we're way up north, but is there sweet tea?
There is something approximating sweet tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they gave you tea and they gave you sugar packets.
We are at a Captain D's. In my hometown, every year they ran, like the newspaper ran this like best XYZ. And Captain D's always got voted the best sweet tea in the area. And I always thought that was so sad that there's no local place there that has better sweet tea than Captain D's.
Why even try to find a ranking for sweet tea if Captain D's is going to be what wins?
More like Captain D's tea bags.
Captain D tier tea.
Hell yeah, take that.
That was good. I can't give that a belly laugh, but I will acknowledge that that was funny.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you.
It was technically funny.
Let me cross Captain D's off of our sponsorship list.
Don't worry, Long John Silver's is just waiting there for an opportunity.
Man, I'm waiting for them. Give us a ring, Long John.
They're waiting for an opportunity.
I also need the audience to understand Brandon and I's friendship can be summarized by, I want to acknowledge that that was funny, but it did not merit a laugh.
It's very intellectual comedy.
So, the four of you are kind of, huddled around your crunchy fish and dubious potato baskets.
Mm-hmm. Guard captain of Palabar D's.
Instead of captain.
Yeah, guard captain.
That took me a minute. That took me an embarrassing minute.
Leave all of it in, Gabe. All the minutes. All the silence.
Just say it didn't warrant a belly laugh because it didn't warrant a laugh at all.
So do you really think you're going to be able to talk him down, get Johannes back?
I'm sure I'll be able to get Johannes back. This guy's just mad about stuff. I think he just needs somebody to take it out on.
I mean, I felt a lot better after I, ripped verbally into my mom, so I get it.
I also actually felt better after confronting my father.
Yeah, see, confronting family, it's just really cathartic. After this, he'll feel better, no matter the resolution, and Johannes will be free, and we'll be able to get in the castle and everything.
You're sure you don't want us to come with you?
I'm sure. I think this is one of those things that just needs to be handled one-on-one. Just like a wrestling match.
But you say people tag into wrestling matches all the time.
Look, I'm not really a tag wrestler. I really was focused on my singles career. Everybody goes through a tag team phase, especially when your popularity's waning. But at my core, I was really a singles wrestler who was in the world title scene for a long time.
Well, plus, it's going to be important that we're taking care of business outside the ring.
That's right. And I guess you mean getting into the castle?
Well, yeah, we've got to get into the palace. We've got to establish ourselves. That way, when you get in, we've already got things pretty well scoped out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We got to split the party. It's the safest thing to do.
Worst case scenario, if something goes wrong, just get yourself out of town, and we'll meet you when we escape with the relic.
That sounds good. I'll head south.
If Snuffles and the cart are gone, we'll know that you are out there south of town waiting for us to come find you.
Yeah, just keep going south. You'll eventually run into me. I'll try to keep a lookout.
You'll find me where the tea gets sweet and the girls are sweeter.
In Paradise City. All right, Boat's eating his fried fish.
As you guys continue eating your meal, a sort of comfortable silence settles over the group. It is a little bit disturbed when you hear the sounds of marching outside of the restaurant.
To be clear, when you say the sounds of marching, just sort of like lockstep military marching, not like Sousa.
I don't know what that second thing is, but yes, lockstep military marching was what came to mind.
You're not familiar with John Philip Sousa, the king of the American marching song? No?
And that's
Nothing?
public domain, so we can leave the whole thing in.
Hell yeah, we can't. Also,
Alex,
I don't
you don't
think-
know about the Sousa phone when you were in middle school and you had to talk to your friends and you just yelled into a tube and hoped that their ears were on the other end?
I think Solinar just tenses way up. Like, he goes from eating casually to just being like, he's still moving food to his mouth, but it's clear that he is, one, no longer enjoying it, and two, his motion has become very stiff.
Like animatronic, stiff, jerky movements.
I don't know about jerky, but definitely animatronics in the sense of like not having a whole lot of joint rotation and things like that.
Okay. All right, Boat's gonna try and steal a glance out the window, see if he can see what's going on.
You're going to see a couple of Barosian army units in tight formation marching to the south.
Like, how many people abreast are they?
Like across or down?
Across.
Each unit probably has about 25 men.
Oh, wow. That is a huge column of soldiers.
Like all told, like the cube of them is 25.
Okay. They're 5 by 5.
Yes.
And how many cubes?
Which 5x5 is, of course, the famous time signature of John Philip Sousa.
There are 3 that are marching past the restaurant at the moment.
Okay. You know, he did one in 6'4". He was Prague Philip Sousa.
Yeah, that was, of course, a problem because it was wider than it was long.
Okay, Boat like waves over at the crew and gets like sort of indicates for them to look out the window too.
Alita's already been staring out the window and looking at the group and then looking out the window and then looking at the group. She's not being subtle.
Mm-hmm. She's just like, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right in the middle of Captain D's.
Right in the middle of Captain D's. Sir, this is a Wendy's.
That sells fish?
Wendy's does have fish. It's just in a sandwich.
Yeah, now we can say with no irony, sir, this is a Wendy's.
All right, so they're marching south. How long does it take them to pass by?
Not very long. Probably like 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
To pass directly over. I mean, you can still hear them marching down the ways, but
Clomp, 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 clomp.
yeah, they
clomp.
are clippity cloppeting down the stone
Chonk,
streets.
chonk, chonk. Okay.
No, we left him in Palabar.
That was interesting. They're headed south. I guess they're headed to the port.
Alita kind of shrugs, looks over at Koza and Solinar.
I mean, we kind of assumed that they were going to be headed offshore.
Yeah. Looks like they're finally making some movements.
Oh, well, I guess that means we need to also be making some movements.
Yeah.
Means I'm glad that part of the plan is us getting into the palace today.
All right. Well, everybody finish up your delicious fried fish.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag Captain D's. Give us money.
All right. Everybody feeling ready?
I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Boat, thank you for doing this, and I'm really hoping that you guys can come back safe and sound, both you and Johannes.
Everything will be fine. It's going to work out.
However much Michael rips into you, just know that it's coming from a place of a lot of deep-seated anger, but he wouldn't be so angry if he didn't care at all.
Yeah.
All right, Koza, Solinar, it's starting to get dark, so let's make our way to the palace.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Good luck, guys.
See you soon, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alita, Koza, and Solinar are going to make their way through the winding streets of Venturian, only to come across the glittering palace of the Boros Empire.
Oh God! Please let it just be. Please let that be the official name. It's called the Glittering Palace, like Buckingham Palace. Or
Like
something.
Buckingham, it's the glittering palace. It stands in front of you, beautiful, regal, and imposing. There are 2 enormous doors in the front that are led up to by this enormous, wide range of stairs. Though you notice that the center of the stairs has been carved flat to make an inclined ramp instead of it being flat stairs.
Interesting.
You can see that there's a lot of glass on the top of the palace, as well as enormous windows throughout. How do you plan on getting in?
Oh, if Johannes was here, he'd be so excited to see that he was completely correct about there being a big skylight.
So I guess are we gonna do the big skylight?
I don't have a good way to get up on the roof without being noticed. I think our best bet is we scoot around the side and we find a door that looks like the sort of door that you'd put in because you want people to not be seen coming and going with things like dirty laundry, sacks of potatoes, those sorts of things.
Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
Now, if we happen to find some wyvern stables while we're in there, and we end up crashing out through the skylight on our way, I'm certainly not going to complain.
All right. Yeah, we'll bookmark that. Yeah.
You put a pin in that idea, you guys. The 3 of you nod resolutely at each other and begin flanking around the palace to find the back entrance. We're going to cut now to Johannes, who is going to be sitting outside in what appears to be some kind of blue metal cage. You can hear it hum through the metal with some kind of electricity. And while it's large enough that he can comfortably sit and move around a little, it's certainly constricting. Johannes, you got moved out there by Michael some time ago, and now he strides back to where you are with a familiar figure in tow behind him.
Oh, hello, Johannes. I guess it's been a while.
Oh my gosh, Eek, is that you?
It is me.
Whoa, you've gotten taller, and your hat's gotten pointier, and your robes have gotten fancier, and your shoes, you still don't wear shoes. Well, that's okay.
Well, yeah, I've had some help keeping my attire looking quite neat these days.
Whoa. I love help. It's my favorite because it means that you have friends looking out for you, which is really good to hear, Eek. You look great. Michael, you look the same as yesterday or this morning when you moved me out into the cage, which is to say, dashing. You're looking good, buddy.
Thank you, Johannes. Eek, if you would be so kind as to watch our friend here, I will give the signal when we can release him to go back to his friends.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, I guess.
And you remember, Emberlyn doesn't know anything about this, and we need to keep it that way.
I won't say a word.
Okay, I'm still not sure about that part.
I am.
My lips are sealed, Michael. Don't worry about me.
He's going to nod and turn away, walking towards his destination and leaving the two of you alone for the first time in a very long time.
So, how's the weather out there?
Well, it's kind of the same as I think it's in there.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that because I was hearing these like zzz, so it sounds like there's almost going to be a lightning strike, but there never is. And so it reminds me kind of like about the time before it rains in the summer, where all of a sudden it's hot and sunny, and then all of a sudden big old downpour of rain. So I'm glad to hear that that's not happening. Really, I was trying to make small talk because it's good to see you, but I also recognize the awkwardness of the circumstances of me being in a jail box charged with electricity.
Yeah, it's really not a ideal situation, I guess.
And so I was like, okay, I really want to talk to Eek, but I also don't want to make him uncomfortable by saying something that, is super serious while I'm also in a super serious situation. TM. But yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. I really hope that you're doing well. I've been telling everybody that you are a good person, and that's why I am glad to see you, because I was worried about you.
Well, thank you for your concern, but I think I've been doing very well since I moved on.
Heck yeah, that's what I want to hear. Good job, buddy. Keep on doing well, always.
The moon is going to start peeking up into the sky, and the stars are going to begin to shine. By the time, Boat, you have made your steps into the alleyway where you are meeting Michael. You notice that no one is there yet.
What all is in the alley?
It's kind of a dead end. There are a couple of refuse bins, some dirt, bricks,
It's
some graffiti.
like dirt and bricks. Like somebody just left Minecraft here.
No, I meant that like the ground is dirty, the walls are bricks. It's pretty nondescript.
Alex is like, there's raw materials.
There's
There's
you can
coal,
hear
there's
in the
iron.
distance the gentle sounds of Minecraft monsters.
What does the graffito say?
It's honestly not words. It is an obscene picture that seems to be referencing the brothel that's like 1 or 2 blocks down.
Okay. All right, I can get behind that. All right, that's cool. Okay, so so is it like what kind of moon is it? What kind of light do we have?
You have about a very bright half moon.
Okay. I guess I'll just find like a barrel or something and sit down for a few minutes.
You are sitting there for about 20, 30 minutes. You hear footsteps several times, but it ends up being a person walking by the alleyway, not who you're waiting for.
Imagine their reaction to just seeing this hulking guy sitting in the darkness in the alleyway as they walk past. Boat's eyes just shining out from the top.
Like a cat.
Biting ham from a bone.
The lights, the street lights are beginning to be lit, which casts enough light that it doesn't feel quite so pitch black and ominous. You notice after a while, all of the sound seems to kind of go away. Like the gentle, quiet sounds of people milling about the streets in the evening kind of fade in a way that seems gradual but unnatural. It really punctuates the single pair of footsteps walking up towards the alleyway, and you see Michael stride up. His body language almost unreadable.
Mm-hmm.
It's this kind of shaking determination. There's something in him that you can't quite put your finger on.
Boat stands up as he sees Michael approach.
He kind of looks at you for a moment. I'm actually surprised you're here.
I told you I'd be here.
I'm not sure why you would think your word carries anything for me, but I can tell you that your friend is safe, guarded, and will only be released when I give the word, but safe.
How's he going to be released?
I have a mutual acquaintance who knows to bring him to a rendezvous point.
Okay. You're not just going to kick him out the door. I wonder, is he being held even at the palace?
He's being held.
Well, as long as he's let go.
He thinks very highly of you and your group.
They're a good group of people.
Yes. I wonder how you got mixed up with them.
A lot of happenstance, if I'm being honest.
What made you decide to play the hero with this?
Look, I'm not going to try and pretend that I'm necessarily a good person or anything. I just reached a point in my life where what had been working for me in the past wasn't working for me anymore. And I had an opportunity to maybe try and do something more, try to be better, try to be beneficial in some way other than entertainment. And I took it because frankly, I didn't know what else I was going to be doing when I looked 1, 2, 3 years down the line from where I was at.
The hero thing and the ego thing weren't a part of it.
I mean, there's always an ego thing. That, I think that's true for everybody. Everybody always wants to feel like they're important. Everybody wants to feel like their concerns are the most paramount in the moment. I don't think of myself as a hero. I think of myself as somebody who decided to try to do something better than what he'd been doing for a long time.
I don't know that I believe that.
That's fair.
Everything seems to really feed your ego. I don't know that I'm really buying the altruism.
Well, I'm not selling it, so you don't have to buy it. I'm just telling you what's on my mind.
He pauses and he kind of like looks down, and it's clear that there's just like 1,000 things going through his head.
Boat sits back down on the barrel. He's like, take your time. I feel like we probably got all night.
I certainly do. I know you figured out is generous. I just told you.
I mean, I figured it out in that ballroom. And I think you know that I did, because I panicked.
Well, I was just telling you.
Yeah.
It was a layer of subtlety that could have been missed only by a freight train.
Well, you know, when things surprise you, sometimes it's difficult to put the pieces together immediately.
Am I one of how many? Do you even know?
No, I don't. I really don't. And this is the first time I've ever had to sort of confront that. 25 years ago, life for me was very different. And it was just winning every day and not having a single consequence. And you can live like that for a while, and you can really enjoy yourself while you're doing it. But eventually, if the alcohol doesn't kill you, it'll catch up to you.
You're being flippant in a way that pisses me off.
I'm not trying to be flippant. If, the most honest thing I can tell you right now related to that is it absolutely terrifies me that I don't know the answer to that question. And I've never really had to face it until very recently. I'm still coming to terms with it. I'm not telling you that as an excuse or anything. That's just where I'm at. And I, in as much as I'm able, I understand why you feel the way you feel.
Do you remember anything about her?
Bits and pieces.
So no.
Yeah. I know it doesn't mean anything, but I am sorry. It was the action of a child who was living in a world of adults and thinking he was part of it.
Sorry? You're sorry? What is sorry gonna do?
It's not going to do anything.
Do you think I care if you're sorry?
No. I know you don't. And I know how this is going to end. And I've known how it was going to end since you invited me here. But I'm telling you anyway, not to unburden myself, but just because I'm, in the limited way that I'm able to, I'm trying to take some responsibility for this.
I don't want this. I don't want this calm, measured. I don't want you showing up comfortably accepting your fate. I want you to scream and cry and beg for fucking forgiveness. I want you to suffer in a way that I will never be able to actually inflict, in a way that will satisfy anything that happened. I want you to beg. And you're showing up here with this self-righteous assumption of responsibility that you're taking at the 11th hour. And you're only taking it because I took something from you.
That's certainly part of it. And I would say this is 11:59, not just the 11th hour. We're probably at the end here, and that's the only reason I'm saying this. I'm not going to pretend that I would have come to this on my own without pressure from you, without you taking my friend, without you confronting me. I don't know what you want me to beg for. I'm just genuinely not happy when I look at myself in the mirror now and have to see your face staring back at me. It's 20, 25 years of bad decisions, poorly thought out, just coming crashing back on me all at once. I'm not looking for pity, and I'm not looking for forgiveness. I'm telling you I'm sorry because I am.
This isn't what I wanted this to be.
What did you want? You wanted me to just collapse under the ground, crying and wailing?
Yes. I wanted you to cry. I wanted you to wail. I wanted you to beg for your life. I wanted you to feel for even a minute what we did. But I guess I don't even know if it would be worth it to take it out of your friends.
You certainly don't need to involve them in this. I'm here. I came by myself because you asked. They're only here by, they're here for a whole other reason. It's not related to you or me or anything going on between us. They don't need to be involved in this at all.
I don't know if you noticed, but I became a blue dragon priest. It became my problem.
Yeah, I noticed that. But it seems to me that this little operation you and I have going on right here is a little bit off the books from that particular mission.
I don't really care if your friends succeed or not. I don't care if Emberlyn does what she wants. I don't care.
What's your motivation?
For what?
If you're a blue dragon priest, how can you just not care about what they're doing or whether they succeed?
I became a blue dragon priest because I was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I became a blue dragon priest because I had nowhere else to go. So I guess all of my accomplishments, all of the things that I've done, my recognition for being one of the more powerful in my monastery, I guess that's all credit to you. Are you proud?
Proud's not the word, but if you succeeded in spite of me, at least you succeeded.
I spent my whole life dreaming of this moment, and just like everything else, you are a disappointment.
Well, that's fair. So...
Stop being reasonable. Stop being calm. Stop acting like you didn't ruin my entire life. Act like you're scared. Act like you care that you're about to... You owe me at least that.
Boat looks down at the ground. Just sort of searches it for nothing in particular. Looks back up at the sky. Again, searching it for nothing in particular. Looks at the half moon. Looks over at the drawing on the wall. He looks back up at Michael. And he pushes his left foot forward just a little bit and then hauls back and punches Michael in the face.
Michael is going to spin out. He's going to hit the ground, not expecting that response. He's going to step up and he's going to wobble almost drunkenly. And he's going to look up before taking 2 steps away from you. It looks like he's just disengaged. His hand flexes and you see this charge of blue lightning coalesce into his hand and lengthen out into a spear. He turns, cocks it back, and throws it, spearing through Boat and pinning him to the wall right next to that gross graffiti. There's an emptiness in his eyes as you sort of feel this. You feel like it should hurt. You feel like every nerve in your body should be on fire, but all you feel is cold. The final things that you can really make out him saying sound to you like a, I guess I should thank you for that. In that moment, Solinar, Oza, the two of you feel something cold. Johannes, at the same moment, you feel it as well. There is a feeling of loss, just suddenly, the kind that passes over you and then gets dismissed in just a moment, a sudden onset of melancholy. It is sometime after that, Eek, Johannes, you will see the figure of Michael stumble. He is covered in singe and burn, and you can smell blood and burning on him. He has this look in his eyes that unsettles both of you. This feeling of someone who got everything that they ever wanted, and it felt hollow. And in a voice that doesn't sound entirely like his own, Michael croaks out to Eek, "You can let him go now."
Oh, okay. Are you sure? 'Cause
It's over.
I mean, I thought that we had a lot to do.
We did. What did you want to happen, Eek?
Well, I mean, Emberlin's whole plan.
I couldn't care less what Emberlin wants at this point. To be honest, I couldn't even care less what happens to you. And I want you to know she doesn't care either. Let him go. And then I guess you figure out who your friends are.
I'm not sure about this.
Michael is going to turn wordlessly, and he's going to give you this look that just feels empty and wrong and uncanny. And he's going to walk away, just with this awkward, stumbling gait, leaving you and Johannes alone, and you with the key to release him.
Eek, I know probably not the best of times, but I don't think that guy likes you or anybody. I think that might be an evil person.
Maybe I do let you out for now, and you can stretch your legs a little bit, and then we regroup, and then we go get Emberlyn, right? And then we can pick back up where we were.
I do love stretching my legs. One of my favorites. You've seen me do it. I do it every morning. Little leg stretchies. That's what I call them. You've done with me a few times. I definitely appreciate that. I do have to say, Eek, this is just from, friend to friend. I know things are going great because we talked about it and because, I believe you. But I also, that guy who just, Michael did not look healthy. I don't know if he's your friend, but if he was my friend, I would tell him to have a good cry or something. That was not the face of a healthy person. That was the face of a scary person.
That was the face of a man who needs unlimited therapy.
Yeah. Thank you, voice in the sky. Unlimited therapy for him, Eek. And I only say that because, again, as I know things are going great, but I just want to make sure that you're doing okay,
I think I'm doing perfectly fine. I think I'm doing perfectly fine, and I hope you're doing perfectly fine too.
Well, I feel sad. I feel sad right now, even though I don't 100% know why it kind of washed over me. I think it's probably because I'm in a cage, but I'm gonna figure that out. But I'm happy that I got to see you again, Eek. I'm glad you're doing perfectly fine. Genuinely, I hope things keep going well for you. You were always so nice to me, and I think, like I said earlier, I always consider you a friend. If ever you stop by Folger Mansion, be sure to hit me up. I'll have some coffee, fresh coffee in a cup for you.
Okay. Well, how do I let him out of this thing?
It's that you have a key.
Okay.
Oh, use the key. It's the key in your left hand.
Okay. I'll just open this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just.
Eek, as you reach your key into the lock and turn it, you feel this cold wash over you for just a moment. You see this really brilliant silver light encapsulate you and then Johannes and then fade away. Something has left you. You're not sure what, but you feel freer than you did before, less conflicted.
Did you feel that?
Feel what? Are you talking about? Is it breezy? I'm still in the cage right now. Is it about to rain? I keep saying it's gonna probably rain. The day feels dour.
Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't you head on out? Go stretch your legs. Be back in 15 minutes. Does that sound good?
I won't do that, but it sounds good.
All right. You don't.
But
need,
I got things to do.
Yeah, it sounds like you don't need the whole 15 minutes. So I guess see you sooner than that, right?
Well,
Right?
I mean, if we run into each other, it'd be great. I do want to see you, but I'm probably gonna go to my friends immediately when you open this.
Okay, I mean, you
being
can do that.
honest.
You just have to come back afterwards.
Well, okay. I mean, I'll bop through just in case you're here. If not, I'll leave a letter.
Okay, I guess that'll work too. Just let me know kind of like where you're going, and that way, we can follow up. Because I think we can move this cage wherever we need it to be.
Okay. Well, I'm going to the castle. I don't know what I'm doing after that.
Okay, then I'll see if we can move the cage to the castle.
Okay.
All right.
But
As
you
the
swing that door open now.
As the door of the cage swings open, you can hear the hum within the cage has faded. Whatever weird electric ability this cage has, it doesn't appear to be active when the cage is not locked. Johannes, you take a couple of steps outside and feel freedom. You feel ready to go and meet your friends.
I give a
Even
quick,
if you might
quick
not...
hug to Eek. Like a speed one. Like so fast, it happened, but it already happened.
Johannes, you run to meet your friends, and though you all are not aware of it yet, that group has gotten smaller. Boat. Things begin to go dark, and you hear soft footsteps. Not of Michael, but of a figure you haven't seen. She has a long black cloak, curly red hair, and carries with her a scythe. You now look and you can see your form sort of slumped against the wall. You can see the gore left behind by you getting shishka fried. And the voice that comes out is soft and gentle, but merits no negotiation. Are you happy with how things went?
Let's say I accept it.
Your friends will be okay.
I know. They're gonna be just fine without me.
She's going to lay a gentle hand on your shoulder, and for the first time since this entire confrontation, you feel this soft, gentle warmth seep through you. And you feel who you are, the person you are, your soul, your mind, your experiences, your memories, and your thoughts. You feel yourself dissipate into the wind, the earth, the air, the moon. You know that a part of you is going on, and a part of you is held behind, if for no other reason than the memories of the people who love you. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Quid Pro Roll is a co-production of Alpha Comics and Games with Goblins and Growlers. Our audio production and all original music composition is provided by Gabriel Perez. He can be found at Amethyst Audiomancer on Instagram. The voice of Alita and our DM for the podcast is Alex Smith. She can be found at Alpha Comic Games on Twitter. The voice of Charles Gravyboat Barnes is Brandon Dingus. He can be found at Way of Brandalore on Twitter. The voice of Eek and Koza are Chapman Adams. He can be found at What Are Birds on Instagram. The voice of Johannes is Alan. He can be found at The Dungeon Meowster on Instagram. And finally, the voice of Solinar is me, Josh Maltby, and I can be found at BlackCloakDM on Twitter. Thanks so much for listening. Does Captain D's have any, like, peanuts, pistachios, cashews?
No, do not dare make a D's nuts joke. I saw your eyes light up with joy, and I had to snatch that away.
No, you only made it stronger by making the joke for me before I could.
We've got a D's nut allergy member on the crew, so please.
Yeah. Ooh, they do have a loaded potato soup now, though.
Can we just go through their menu?
Yeah. Brandon's on the Captain D's menu on the website.
He's gone too Captain Deep. We can pull him up. Pull him up.